Use a Phillips head screwdriver, take these two screws out. And grab the light assembly and just slide it back. There's a couple pins that hold that in. Disconnect the connector, slide that off. Now we want to cut away some of this tape. It's right here. You can use some type of a razor blade or cutter. Move some of that tape. Let's separate the wires a little bit. Take the new connector and you're just going to line it up with the old one. Make sure it's in the same direction. So the clip side is right on the top. And we're going to take one of the wires, the one on the end, and match it up. The one on the end. Make a cut right here and right here. Then we're going to connect those two together. You're going to do one of these at a time. You can use some wire strippers. Strip the wire. Take the insulation off the wire. Just a little bit like that. And we have these connectors. I'm going to slide this in, and you have to use a crimp. And then squeeze the connector. And just grab the wire in the connector and make sure it's not loose, and that's not loose. We're going to come over on this side. You can twist the wire a little bit. Slide it over and do the same using some wire crimps. Push it all the way in and crimp it down real tight. Then just grab it. Make sure there's no play in the wire, which there isn't. And then we'll move on to the next one. And we don't want to cut it right exactly at that same spot. We want to stagger it a little bit. So we're going to cut right here, cut there and there. I'm giving myself a little more room. Now we'll connect those. Do the same procedure. I would say it's a little, about 1/2 inch of the wire showing. Maybe a little less than 1/2 inch. All right, those are all good. And they're all staggered. The reason you stagger them is so you don't have a big clump of connectors right in one ball. So it's a little nicer. Now we need to heat shrink these connectors. You can use a torch or some type of a heat gun will always work. Just be careful if you're using a torch. Just go around just like this, twisting it back and forth, trying not to catch it on fire. And you should see, if you look at the end, you should see a little bit of where it's kind of sealed itself off. So that's going to keep the elements out, keep the dirt and debris out. It'll make it last longer. So you want that on all of them. Those are all sealed up and they've cooled down a little bit. If you want, you can twist this a little bit. Take some electrical tape and start on one end, holding the wires tight, and just wrap it up. Let's trim the end. There we go. And plug the connector in, line it up, lock it down, and slide the light back in place. And put the screws back in. Take the screws, get those lined up. And tighten these down. just snug.